happened in the election.
Because everybody else has.
Well, but I think that our perspectives matter here. A lot of the folks that have something to say don't necessarily have the inroads with the people we know within these campaigns. And I think the other thing that has been talked about in passing, but not as much, is the fact that it wasn't just a Harris for president campaign loss. The Senate is gone, and so is the House.
Yes, ma'am. It's all out of here. She a tether too? Y'all, come on. Who isn't a tether? Angela Rye, where's she from, y'all? I did not know that.
And so I want to talk about what we all think happened. I'm sure that this is another one of those conversations where reasonable minds can disagree. And so I want to hear what you think. Andrew, you are our resident candidate, Democratic strategist that has run a campaign and knows what it's like to get close.
He also knows what it's like to get caught. I know y'all know. So you got the one who's been fired from CNN, or was it MSNBC? MSNBC. And then this dude who got caught with a man in a room with drugs while he was married. Now he's fully ABCD child. And I don't know what Angela's thing is. Y'all saying she tether? All right. I don't know.
I think you probably only know what it's like to get close. You only have one and you've only gotten close. You've never had a blowout like this. So what do you think went wrong, or what do you know went wrong?
He may have had a blowout, child. Pause. No, did he?
Angela, I can tell you one thing that I believe went right, and that is Kamala Harris, with 100 days to transition from VP candidate to presidential candidate, which is, I can't even imagine the change that would have had to happen, ran through the goddamn tape. I think she was everywhere, talked to everybody.
Yeah, that's his name, Andrew Gillum. So I see that delusion is still on the list because she went everywhere, sir. She went everywhere, sir. Child, this why y'all be losing. This why y'all be losing. You can't even do Monday. Child, it's been 2 Mondays. You can't even do Monday morning quarterbacking.
Are there tactical pieces that needed to change? Are there, things that can always be done on the edges and the inseams of a campaign? Absolutely. But when you think greater, bigger picture, Kamala Harris did what she could do as a candidate. She could not, however, answer for endemic problems and within the Democratic Party structure. And quite frankly, the diminished Democratic turnout that we experienced in this election. Let nobody forget that we had a voter drop off from 2020 to 2024. And the 7 states that were battleground states where Kamala competed on the air, was very present, tried to make her case. She lost to Donald Trump by basically 3 points on average between those states or less. And states that she did not compete, meaning they were not battleground states, she lost by 6 points or greater. What's the point there? And places where people got to hear her, where people got to hear her defense and what she stood for, she closed the gap between Donald Trump and Republicans by 3 points.
Jay Gray, I did read this as much as I could because you tried to get me. Is you talking about a different one? But what this ninja talking about, child? And he ain't even old. So she did everything right, so she closed the gap. Well, congratulations. We'll give her a medal for that shit. This is the straight up a participation trophy. This is a straight up, she lost every single battleground state. Every single battleground state she lost. And he over here talking about she did great. She closed the gap to 3 points. 3 points ain't it. It don't get you nothing, but congratulations for closing the gap, child. Wasting all that money to close the gap. Great.
Of industrialized nations where, and I know people were like, well, we don't live in industrialized, we live in the United States. Well, listen to this just globally. Globally, the incumbent parties, be they conservative or liberal, and democracies all across the globe up until getting to ours, the incumbent party and leadership were walloped across the board. The United States, of all of those developed nations who had democratic elections, had the smallest defeat of any of the other countries. I think that's important to understand.
Child, why is that important to Is he an old nigga, child? I was giving him the benefit of the doubt to be like 40, maybe 50, child. You sounding crazy. Child, is there a thing in the water for Black people? Do Black people still have their own water? Because these people are sounding crazy. There is no self-reflection. There is nothing that's saying, you know what, we need to change our strategy. We need to get you need to get Barron Trump. You need to get Barron damn Trump. What the hell is this man talking about? You lost. It's a lose situation. It don't matter what you feel. That's y'all's problem. That's y'all's problem. Shout out to Shell Shock. I appreciate you. He said, is it me or is every male dem a sweet bottom dude? Yes. Allegedly.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone.
And don't forget this one.
Finally, Kamala Harris sent us a love letter.
Huh?
That, to you, that might have been a policy document. I read that as a love letter.
Ridiculous, crazy Black men.
From Kamala Harris to Black men who need some love.
I beg your pardon?
Black men who need some respect. Black men who need some concern and some care and consideration.
I beg your pardon?
You know, we need some mamala from Kamala. And we got that. We stood on business. We said we wanted to hear something. Everybody else is getting something. What are we going to get? And she...
By the way, it's sad. It's sad.
Because Kamala closed a very significant gap. It should have been worse. And the reason it should have been worse is I got to retort back to James Carville. It's the economy, stupid. And I know we've been talking a bit about whether or not there is some...
So they're giving a reward and props because she almost won. She almost won. She deserves everything. She did great. Oh, yeah. Came up short. You did great. That is 101 participation trophy. I don't even blame Cam for her loss totally. I really don't. I like Fox just said, I blame Nancy Pelosi and George Clooney and Obama and all the rest of them that allowed this shit to go on as long as it did. Trotting her on out there up in front of our faces. This one ain't letting it go. Because, you know, Black women, alleged Black women, don't do anything wrong, child.
A duplicity and people believing in that message. But when you can take Black men's support to low 20%, and Latino men's support to 50% plus, a 25-point shift in a cycle, we can't just trump it up to what is a significant issue here, which is that of race and gender, including amongst these two groups that I just mentioned, as being real impediments to Kamala's ability to scale that additional hurdle. I would say, while we did not win in a number of places where we wanted to win at the top of the ticket the most, Democrats really did mitigate a number of losses. Hakeem Jeffries will have experienced what? Potential gain of 1 or 2 seats, a loss of 1 or 2 seats. The fact that they were able to hold steady when people held us accountable for not being able to afford their groceries, that is not a mandate for the president or the Congress to treat the opposing party and their beliefs and their supporters any kind of way. I know everybody thinks...
You're saying, so in other words, the economy being bad, we shouldn't blame the president for that. Nothing. Now all of a sudden we don't blame we blame the president for everything, even if it isn't under their control. That's just how it goes. Don't be president then. So now he's saying everybody wanted to focus on the economy. That's not what's important. Well, clearly you don't be on TikTok, nigga. That's why Trump won, because he had Trump's ace in the hole was Barron Trump, child. He better give him a job, a raise, something. I'm sure he get everything, but child, he better get something. He got it for him. Shout out to our girl. Thank you, hun. She said we are all dumber because we listen to this old ninja. Yo, absolutely, child. This is half damn crazy.
And that's what went right or what went wrong?
What I'm saying is that there was a lot that went right that we are not accounting for in the way this election in total played out. I
want to know what those things are.
Well, yeah. The things that went right to make that happen.
Are you saying that the loss wasn't that bad, so that's went right?
No. Yes, in part because
the loss wasn't that. The loss wasn't that bad, so then that means they did something right. That loss wasn't bad, y'all. I'm sorry, that loss was not bad. Then what's a bad loss? They lost everything. They lost everything. He said, oh, the loss wasn't that bad. Child, the delusion that you colors live under sometimes, I just don't understand. You lose everything. It wasn't that bad. You don't know. I wonder how people end up in relationships that don't work out so well for them. Maybe because they saying, oh, it's not that bad. Then 10 years later, it's like, it's not my fault. They made me stay. Okay, maybe because you listen to stupidity like this. This sounds so stupid.
It was supposed to be much greater. I know we all had optimism that it was the devil versus the angel sitting on the shoulder. She's not an angel, but I'm just making the comparison, which means he was.
Notice he didn't say that he's not the devil, though.
Canceled, could not be considered. Well, for a lot of voters, they didn't experience him so badly the first time. They ignored a lot of his nonsense, which was consequential for a lot of communities, but they ignored it. And what they recall was that their groceries were accessible and affordable. You had people across the board saying that they felt like they financially did better, even though the
Who said that? Yo, he said people said that they financially. Who these people, sir? Where the poll at? What's their names? What state they in, child? I cannot even remember the last time I seen somebody, and I said somebody over on Tickety Talk talking about, oh, everything's great. The economy is great. Everything is good. I mean, we got our OF people. We ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the regulars over there on TikTok. Wow, the delusion is real.
U.S. survived the U.S. survived inflation better than any other industrialized country. We came.
Oh, well, we survived inflation better than any other industrialized country, y'all. That plus the dude from the other day said that inflation is down, so the economy is good, y'all. Y'all, everything is good. Everything is good, y'all. Don't worry about the gas. Don't worry about the eggs and the milk. Don't worry about it, child. It's a figment of your damn imagination, child. The interest rates still 6, 7, 8% for houses. Child, all these layoffs. What was it? FedEx, Boeing, and whoever the hell else it was. Thousands and thousands and thousands of layoffs. But child, the economy is good compared to everybody else, child.
Came out of it better. We came out of COVID better. But people don't live in other countries. They live in this one. And so if their experience is bad, it's going to be reflected. Y'all, I think there were a lot of contributing factors to the loss that Democrats experienced. But I always felt like this race was either going to be like this, neck and neck, or that it was actually going to be a demonstrable win. I was hoping that demonstrable win was going to be in favor of Kamala Harris.
Come on, demonstrable.
But if you look across these battleground states, the blue wall collapsed, not terribly significantly, but enough for us not to win those electoral votes. And we got to get inside what the hell working people in this country are thinking. And when I include working people, I'm not talking about white rural folks. That is not a synonym for working people. Working people are black, brown, everything in between.
Oh, so working people are only BIPOCs, y'all. He only talking to the BIPOCs, y'all. So he didn't get the memo that he's supposed to be minding his own black business. So he's still all in with the daggone with the Democrats, and he out here ready to figure out what happened, so they can go right around and do the same thing again. Go right around and do the same thing again. He is serious. Just look at him. Y'all talking about what he about to do with the microphone because he is all in. He is Democrat for life. Don't Coach Greg Adams has something that says that for life. He is Democrat for life. You can't tell this man nothing. He knows it all. He just as crazy as Ricky is. Child, old niggas gotta go. I'm sorry. I gotta lump him into the old niggas gotta go, child. I know I'm old, child. Hire me, child, because y'all need some help. This not who you need help from. Hire me. I raise my hand for tribute, child. I raise my hand for tribute.
Who felt like this party was not doing their bidding. Even though we're the only ones doing their bidding, the talking points on the other side and the messaging from the other side made them look like they were the Union Party and not us. And we got to figure that shit out. And the last point I'll make is when we were in Atlanta, and I will never forget that young man who stood up and talked about the hundreds of black men that he encounters every single week in Atlanta through the nature of his work and the fact that they were saying that straight black men don't have a home in the Democratic Party. And you then consider the significant loss.
Child, didn't y'all just say that? Who just said that? Somebody just said that a second ago. Are there any real men in the Democratic Party? Allegedly.
Of black men younger, black Latino men younger, And white men, younger, who philosophically are not identifying as
You just now said that you didn't want no white men in there, only BIPOCs. I'm gonna need you to stay on task, sir.
conservative. They're just looking for a home.
Well, they didn't gain ground.
Oh, they're just looking for a home. Come to me. He's saying, come to me. We've got a home for you at the Democratic Party. We know what we're doing. We closed the gap. We almost made it. Give us a chance. You don't know. I even lost, but I almost. I even lost, but I almost won. Child, if I hadn't gotten caught in that room with that man and those DRUGSs, I would be in charge down there in Florida by now. Y'all just don't know. We almost made it. Trust me. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. You know that commercial where the dude, I think it's like a Geico commercial, almost had it with the fishing pole? That's this nigga right here, child. What is going on? Oh my God. Oh, shit. This is bad, everybody. This is bad, child.
With black men, Andrew. I want to be cautious about putting out data.
Listen, I'm not saying that black men are responsible for Kamala losing. White women, without a doubt,
white men
are without a doubt the reason that she did not win. It was their collapse. But what I'm not going to do is ignore that in some of these battleground states, Donald Trump got 10 points more than he did in the last election with black men, and doubled 20 points with Latinos. And so what I'm saying is we can't try to explain an through academic exercise our way out of the fact that we have an emerging problem amongst
emerging. An emerging problem, sir? Wow, y'all, this is fun to watch. I tell you, this is fun to listen to these people with their collapsing crazy ass selves, making no sense, using the fear mongering, the racism, and all this other crap, child. This is crazy.
Certain constituencies of these young men who do not feel like they are seen, heard, played with, dealt with within the Democratic Party. And that will be a significant problem, especially when you consider what the future demographic voting demographic
that part
will
is
be.
true.
Yeah, I just want to.
Okay. I want y'all to remember that I do have it on a higher speed because ain't nobody got time to be sitting here listening to them all night. Not at all. Okay, so he is ABCD. He might be both though, because he was married. But anyway, we don't care about that. He sounds crazy because his thought process here is crazy. Again, this is a college-educated man. So Kamala almost won. He almost won. And I guess as long as you feel good because you closed the gap and you almost won, then that's all that matters, right? All right, cool. Let's see what they got to say, y'all, child.
Because we're 10 minutes in.
I'm done. That's my piece.
I think we have to consider that the voter turnout itself was smaller, and that's why some of those gains look like they were larger. I'll be quick. What I think went right. I think that Vice President Harris ran an amazing campaign that was pulled together and executed in 107 days. This idea that she didn't talk about the economy is bullshit. She absolutely.
Bueller, anybody besties? Did she talk about the economy? Oh yeah, she said price gouging, which is not what it was. Did she talk about the economy? Bueller. I remember her on The View saying that she wouldn't change a thing that Biden has done. So in other words, she's okay with this economy. And I know y'all can talk about whatever the numbers are for the smart people in the back room. But when it comes time to go buy that 4 sticks of butter for $7 damn, ain't no butter going on around here, child. I'm gonna go to the damn Dollar Tree before I buy $7 4 sticks of butter for $7 damn. Ain't nothing that I need. Oh, that's what she talked about. Shout out to Tony. Insulin prices, ABs and insulin prices, and her mama and the small business mama. That's it. That's all. Oh, she talked about the economy, girl.
Absolutely did. You know, she put together an incredible campaign in 107 days. And I don't think the idea that she didn't talk about the economy is complete and utter bullshit. And it drives me crazy that people say that constantly across the cable news spectrum. And
so in other words, another person that's not listening to the people, that would be us, the voters, to say what the problem was. She don't believe that. Cam did perfectly. She's the essence of perfection, and yet she lost. But she closed the gap, so that's all that matters. And Tiffany here is saying that part of that with those numbers are people that didn't come out and vote. So then that means y'all didn't inspire anybody to come out and vote. But child, Cam talked about the economy. Child, I don't know when and where, but according to her, just like she just as delusional as he is.
Who are supposed to be journalists don't correct it. She did talk about the economy. I don't think there is anything that she could have done differently that would have changed the outcome of this election. What I think when
there is nothing that she could have done and changed to change the Wow, another college-educated person on the screen talking right now. Y'all. Listen. You cannot reason with people who cannot see where they may have to improve somewhere. That is a pointless conversation. And these are the same people that talk about MAGA people. How are these people any different, Bueller? How are these people any different than MAGA people? You are the same. You're just on the other side saying the same shit. You think you're not racist, but you actually are. The man just sat here and said, we got to talk to everybody except the white people. We got to help everybody but the white people, the BIPOCs. Kamala didn't do anything wrong. She was perfect. Oh, my God. Whatever. Ciao.
Went wrong, hence right for the Trump campaign, is that a majority of people in this country were either in support of or okay with racist, xenophobic, misogynistic viewpoints of the
Woo, Lord, 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 Lord. It's always Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. So if you voted for Donald Trump, it's because that he's xenophobic and all the shit that she just named. And that's not Cam's fault. That's Donald Trump's fault. So it's Cam's fault, not Donald Trump's fault. That people voted for Donald Trump overwhelmingly so, and so much so that they lost all of Congress, the daggone presidency, and whatever the hell else it is. But Cam did everything right, even though she lost. It's everybody that's into racism and xenophobia and probably fascism, That's what happened. Wow. Good luck, gentlemen. SYCBM.
this president. Even if the president was saying, I will do this thing for you, I will pretend to put this policy forth, which he didn't put any policy up front. But he was saying, under me, you'll walk down streets paved with gold and have, refrigerators and milk and honey every day.
Oh, you mean like when Cam said at the last minute that the ninjas get to get a plan, and then 2 seconds later they was like, oh no, it's not just for you, but I told you it was for you, but you should believe that it was for me, so she can ignore all that. That didn't happen, right? Or the fact that all she talked about was ABs, she can ignore all that, right? Or the fact that all she talked about was her mama, which we don't give a damn about her mama, but never mention her daddy, who is alive, mind you. Ignore everything that Candace Owens overturned. Ignore all that. It's all racism as usual. Racism for the win. It's always racism for the win.
The racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
And these are I have to keep saying that these are college-educated people. These are college-educated people. Lord, 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 Lord.
And in the next breath, he was calling Nancy Pelosi a bitch, or
so they want to talk about Cam, and yet they're still throwing the insults at Donald Trump. Still, y'all called the man Joy Reid, the first one to call him Fiddler. And all the names they call, and she out here talking about Nancy Pelosi. He called Nancy Pelosi a biatch. Girl, who cares? Who gives a damn? I can't believe this. He's against women's. I really think that he don't have a problem with women, if you ask me, Bueller. Didn't he just name Mrs. Doubtfire as the chief of staff? And then some blonde girl as the Karen Jean-Pierre girl now? He got like 5 women. Didn't we count them up? Yeah, on that video.
he was dancing incoherently across stage for 45 minutes.
Oh, no, he was OMG, y'all. He was dancing, y'all. Yo, Donald Trump was dancing. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Minutes, or insulting Michelle Obama, insulting Vice President Harris. They were okay with all those things. So
I'm okay with all of those things because y'all did the same damn thing. Y'all did the same damn thing, but you can't look in the mirror ever, never, no way. And that's why you will continue to lose. Hell, that's why enough black people you lose, specifically black women. Shout out to YouTube. I'm a black woman. Because you don't live in reality at all. Don't live in reality in any way, shape, or form. You out here talking about he called Nancy Pelosi a bitch. Chow, who gives a fuck? Who cares? We should be talking about how did she got so rich and continue to get so rich and how she know to be selling stock before it tank, allegedly. You don't want to answer those questions. You don't want to talk about all the money spent on celebrities. See, she talking about dancing, but ain't had nothing to say about Meg, Glow, who else was it? Usher, and whoever the hell else was out here dancing. She ain't got nothing to say about that, but Donald Trump was dancing, and that's the problem. Wow. Wow. SY CBM, gentlemen.
That is what we have to confront in this country, quite frankly. The fact that a majority of people were either in support of or indifferent to his hatefulness and his hateful rhetoric.
Anybody here that was okay with his hateful rhetoric and his hate? Bueller? Anybody? Bueller? Just let me know, because I ain't got a problem with it, because I heard equal, if not worse. I feel like I heard more worse from a Democratic perspective than I ever did from on the Republican side. I heard more over, especially after that man got allegedly assassination attempt. But that's okay. These are the people that were probably allegedly hoping that it had went 1 inch to the right or whatever.
A few things. One, I want to commend Kamala Harris for a historic run and a very brave run. I don't know anybody that could have pulled off what she did in 107 days. So I echo that, Tiff. I
give her credit for that. I give Cam credit for that. She came up and did the best she could in 107 days, where they basically set her up to fail.
I want to commend her on mollywopping and mopping the floor with Donald Trump in that debate.
Here we go with more delusion. Molly whopped so bad, she lost so bad in every single thing. But, go on, girl.
Also want to commend them on plugging in influencers the best way they knew how in the campaign. I would argue that the influencers and the surrogates who participated on the campaign trail were probably one of the more organized pieces of the campaign. However, that's not sufficient. And I think, Andrew, to the argument that we had with Tiff before on if the role of celebrities is outsized with what actually matters when people go into the voting booth is something that really should be questioned at this point. A lot of money was spent on getting those folks out to the trail, getting them on the stage, ensuring their involvement. And I don't know that she saw a real ROI there. And that's something that has to be discussed.
You think? So no, she didn't get any return on her investment, and yet she continued to invest. So that is the fault of her campaign manager or whoever is in charge of the money. That's not where the money should have been spent. And we said that the whole time as they brought out every single person. We was like, why? How come y'all didn't say that? Did we not say that every single time she brought out somebody crazy, Usher and Eminem and all these other people? We said that. How come y'all wasn't saying that? How come y'all wasn't saying that to her? Because you must have been okay with it. You must have been okay with it. We questioned it every single time. Wow.
I have a tremendous bone to pick with white men and with white women. These are the same folks.
Shout out to the white men and the white women. Angie's talking to you now.
I talked about needing to be held accountable for whatever they decide to do on election day, and I'm not veering from that. I have a tremendous issue there. Shout out to y'all because you showed up. The sad part for y'all that showed up is you showed up and voted against your interests. People have argued that you did vote your interests. What I'm saying to you is, and I'm not trying to call you ignorant, but I believe that I'm
not trying to call you ignorant, but you voted against your interests. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? They can say, don't you love this, y'all, the hypocrisy? They can say it, somebody else says it is wrong. They can say it, somebody else says it's wrong. They're doing no retrospect review of anything. They did nothing wrong. This is the tip of... Child, hold on. Y'all already know what this is with regard to this mess.
I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. You heard what I said? Because I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you.
Shout out to Jim Berg. So just to let you know, Angie said you voted against your interest Okay, just FYI. And our girl said, and this is why they will lose again in 2028. Abso-damn-lutely. Abso-damn-lutely. Shout out to the next president of the United States, J.D. Vance, 2028.
Your interest. What I'm saying to you is, and I'm not trying to call you ignorant, but I believe that you voted in the long run against your interests and you don't even know it. You thought your interests were mass deportation. You thought your interests were getting rid of DEI. You thought your interests were ensuring that affirmative action no longer existed in institutions of higher learning for your children. What you don't realize is the ways in which these things are going to backfire and hit you even more. I got to say that I think the biggest winner in this campaign is, once again, the white consulting class. Regardless of what party
100%.
you sit in, that
100.
has to be disrupted. It has to be destroyed. We're talking about contracts.
What? Hold on. What, girl?
Ways in which these things are going to backfire and hit you even more. I got to say that I think the biggest winner in this campaign is, once again, the white consulting class. Regardless of
what the hell is the white consultant class, child? Anybody? Bueller? What is the white consultant class? Bueller?
Of what party
100%.
you sit in. That
down.
has
100.
to be disrupted. It has to be destroyed. We're talking about contracts in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And sure, folks will say, well, you're not looking at this right because this was a media buy. And so most of this went to TV. Well, what ROI do we have to say that it was worth the campaign spending over $200 million with one vendor for TV ad buys?
Well, that's y'all's dumbass fault. The Democrats' dumbass fault. No one watches fucking TV. What are you talking about? Who here still watches TV? There's over 500 people between both of these channels tuned in right now. Are y'all watching TV? Child, most people are not. They stream. Where the commercials at? Where the commercials at? The commercials might be on this live stream right now. Ain't nobody watching TV. That's your first problem. Child, y'all better go ahead and see if you can find Barron and get him on your side before Trump hires him to be whatever. That's y'all's problem. You don't listen. These old people got to go. These old people got to go. If they want to stand a chance, they got to get rid of these people, especially these ones. Wow.
The ROI is not there. This has to be disrupted. And the bottom line is there was a whole other contract for digital ad buys. What ROI do we have that says this was a good use of resources? Here's my point.
Y'all used to tell me that when the commercials did come through that it was Cam commercials. So she did have commercials here on YouTube, clearly. And you said that they were coming regularly. So that still didn't help y'all's asses. Whose fault is that? It's the messaging. It was the messaging. You can't relate. If you cannot relate to people, then you're not going to get them to come to your side. That's just how it goes. You cannot keep saying crap that people don't give a damn about when you're sitting up here trying to make me think that 4 sticks of butter should cost $7 damn. You can run all the fucking ads that you want to. You can keep talking about what she did wrong was always talk about Donald damn Trump too. All she did was you put the eyes always on your opponent. Why would you do that? That's stupid with a capital ST. You put all eyes on him, and then on top of it, the people who support you go and do things that bring even more attention to your opponent.
Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce. Party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Party with Beyonce. Carry on. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Hold up. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce, Beyonce, party with Beyonce, 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 Beyonce.
So that didn't have anything to do with it. Keep bringing attention to him. No shade against all the people that did that. Let's not act like that did not go viral along with the dogs and the cat, which brings attention to him. That's y'all's fault. Sorry.
There is nothing that y'all can do to outsmart good old-fashioned canvassing, mail, door knocking, text messages. You're not going to be able to geo-target enough in a digital space, to target enough on a TV space to make up for the lack of not being involved in knocking on doors. That was...
So they still talking about knocking on doors, child. Did I just put a post up today that said you come knocking on my door and you didn't let me know you was coming? I'm not answering that damn door. Who answering the door around here if they don't know who's there? Bueller? Who is answering the door if they ain't expecting company? Delusional.
Was an issue before Kamala Harris became the top of the ticket and the nominee for this party's nominee in this election. That was an issue that preceded Joe Biden being at the top of the ticket. This is an age-old battle that has to be fought and has to be challenged. There are Black staff who are part of the organizing community, part of canvassing, challenge paid canvassers, challenge whether or not this was the right tactic, said they didn't have the resources. Jasmine, who was the state director in Florida, Andrew, I sent you her tweet, her Twitter thread earlier. She goes in about how much they had to rely on outside resources because they couldn't get any resources from the campaign because the campaign had pretty much given up on Florida. The sad part is, y'all, that is not a Florida unique story. It is the story of every battleground state director, and that has to be discussed. They spent so much time and effort in ensuring that these large, rich, white consultants would keep their share, could even potentially get bonuses off of a loss, but wouldn't get these folks the dollars they needed to get signs on the ground, to get folks on the ground knocking on doors. You guys.
She had $1 billion to spend in 107 days. Why didn't she use the money for all that if that was the tactic? Y'all said that's what you did, and it still didn't work. Any excuse is better than none. Any excuse is better than none. Maybe she shouldn't have been spending it on all these damn celebrities that nobody gave a fuck about. How about that? And that's the money that you needed right there. Nope. Cam did everything right. This is why nobody has any empathy and nobody has any sympathy and nobody gives a damn. Y'all continue to know everything. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. You know what you're doing. That's why you got one fired, one disgraced, and I don't know what's up with this one. Child said she run off at the mouth. But this is the person that goes down there to help Marilyn Mosby, who actually did wrong and got her to be home. She out there fighting for her. She ain't gonna come fight for none of y'all. I don't care how Black you are. She ain't gonna do it.
We went and knocked on doors. We couldn't figure out how to use the MGB ban app right. We could not say if somebody wasn't home or not. We know that firsthand. But there are folks who did this every single day that can talk about what went wrong here. Y'all, like I said on the main episode, I was convinced this election had to have been stolen in some really remarkable, challenging way on data. It's not. We ignored the people at the bottom.
As usual.
There was ever, of course, but as usual, what we've learned as well is that nothing from the top ever trickles down. There's not a trickle-down economy. There's not a trickle-down campaign. You cannot expect that people will be touched just because folks are getting paid at the top. So there's a lot more to be said there, but that's what I got to say. The biggest loser here is the DNC, because I think that thing gonna have to be disrupted and destroyed to really get back to the heart of what it was supposed to be from the beginning.
Well, the biggest loser is the American people. And I just want to echo your point, Angela. We know people, we know personally people who were given crumbs out of this huge pot of money. They were given crumbs. And these are people who have.
So isn't that Cam's fault for not giving your people the money, but she gave it to Meg? Y'all don't have a problem with that? So y'all have
been doing organizing work and GOTV work for decades. People are so willing. People poured money into, I don't know about this cycle because I don't know the numbers, but previous cycles, people poured money into Never Trumpers. They poured money into the Lincoln Project. But you have people, like, you didn't dance with the ones who brung you. And I honestly just think we're looking at a space. It wasn't just that Vice President Harris lost. It was the way we were treated all the way down. Like you talked about, Angela, as staff.
The way who was treated, that's on her. They will not tell what it is at all. So it's not her fault, but now they're complaining about the way that they were treated? Oh my God.
As people outside the campaign who were trying to help this campaign win. And I want to be really clear. None of us are putting this at the feet of Vice President Harris.
Nope.
We're putting it.
Girl, we see that. Because, you know, you can't talk about a Black woman. Oh, I'll do it. Oh, I do. All y'all crazy. Cha. All y'all out of your effing mind. These two in particular, okay? This sounds so crazy. We didn't get any money. She spent all this money on celebrities, people who already have money. Oh, it's not her fault. All right, then continue to be where you are at the bottom, like you just said.
At the feet of people who are in charge, who are constantly discrediting the people whose very fucking backs this democracy depends on. And when I wept for days after the election, that is what I wept about.
I promise y'all, I did not shed one motherfucking tear. Anybody cry? Bueller. I know you ain't gonna tell me anyway. Did anyone cry after the election? Bueller. Oh my God. I gotta be associated with this, y'all. Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like at some point, the folks who
Exhausting.
get rewarded for losing elections cycle after cycle, and
Right.
they get named campaign managers or named campaign chairs. That has to be, that is the first place where accountability must be had.
So what you're saying is that y'all don't ever get no positions, but you expected to do all these other things and you never get any downstream impact. So what I'm hearing is that it's racist because the white people that run the daggone DNC are not giving y'all any money, even though y'all out here doing everything and anything. Well, see, that goes along with what I've said before. Y'all out here just not negotiating your salary, out here thinking that you gonna tell somebody that you in charge of something. You F it up for yourself. Now you mad. You made those decisions. You made those decisions. You wanted to be out there making sure that she got whatever that you seen and heard and riled people up. You did that on your own. Don't get mad at even Cam. Child can't even hold her accountable. Because I should have stopped a long damn time ago. If you participate, then it's on you. You are college educated, all of y'all, and you decided to run through because you out here also listening to Ricky, Clown L, and Rolly Roll because y'all just want to make sure you get some BIPOC on up there. It didn't work. Now you mad. It didn't work. Now you mad and you saying it's not right, it's not fair, and the Democrats didn't get any of that money down to you. But Cam didn't do anything wrong because these people will never talk about a black woman except for me. I know they would. Because, it's very easy to talk about somebody that's not saying the same thing. Very easy in that case.
And so I wanted to have this conversation. I know that it's emotionally charged. I know this is challenging. It's hard. We've been screaming this from the beginning of the podcast. Andrew's giving y'all his own story. I know that he'll continue to do that. I hope that he'll participate in this autopsy as well, because it's not just an autopsy of this cycle. It's an autopsy of what's been wrong with the party for years. And it's time for it to change.
What's been wrong with the party for years, but you still participate, you run for it, you ram for it, you go for it, you all into it. But this is what's been wrong for you. Sounds like a bad relationship to me. And this may be why so many stay in relationships that are not good for you. You don't know how to leave for whatever the reason is. Child.
Change. Yeah.
And black women, you do not want it to be black women versus the party. Black women, we are the backbone. So see how you do without your base. See how that.
Girl, I ain't no back mode for none of them. That's what y'all do, and that's why you are where you are now. You putting your heart, your soul, your life, your everything into this bullshit. Who is it? What is it? Malcolm X, I think it was. I recorded that. I got to get that uploaded too. Y'all out here fighting for people that ain't fighting for you, and people try to tell you, and now all of a sudden with this shit, you finally see it. Wow. And now now you crying over it? Girl, if y'all don't go to hell.
It goes. Since we weren't
And
valued.
and black men, because they
black men too, but I'm just saying black women in terms of organizing. We do out
ninjas out here catching strays. Of course, you ninjas out here catching strays.
Black women, we are the backbone. So see how you do without your base. See how that goes. Since we weren't valued.
And black men, because they
black men too, but I'm just saying black women in terms of organizing. We do outnumber black men. I love I never believed the Trump BS. I know brothers are right there with us. I don't even believe that Trump gained ground with black men. But
Angie is not looking too happy right there, child. What is going on? What's going on, Angie? What is going on?
I would say one distinction is when black women organize a community of people that includes black men and black women. Black women are constantly on the front lines as poll workers, organizers. You just disproportionate to any other group.
Yeah, why? Yeah, why? Why do y'all do that? Because you want someone to thank you. You want some accolades or something. Child, this segment was not supposed to go on this long, but they pissing me off, okay? Out here doing the same damn thing. We do this, we do that. You want all these accolades. Girl, you chose to do it. Just like you chose to open them legs. Not her in particular, but all this complaining, that's a choice that you made. You are a whole ass educated adult, all of y'all. Out here whining, complaining, talking about where the backbone. Child, keep that bone back then. Child, keep that bone back. You're the ones that don't want to listen. Y'all want to continue to fight for the shit. Now you're talking about we're gonna mind our black business. Child, they be doing this shit in 2 more years. We gotta get back. We gotta get back. And then you'll be doing the same shit, running ads on TV that don't nobody even watch, and still gonna lose again. Because you can't listen. You don't listen because you know everything. It's the typical, it's the same old, same old. It never changes.
Including our brothers, our black men. But this is not meant to put black men down or disparage black men. We need y'all. We love y'all. Y'all are right there with us in this fight.
Ooh, y'all are right there in that fight, ninjas. Don't you love that? Oh, ain't that nice? Remember when she said, you Tariq Nasheed, Kevin Samuels, whatever she said, need to get behind black women. So y'all got behind black women, Bueller. So y'all got behind black women. Child, she said, y'all got her and they got you. Oh, look at y'all making up. Child, look at y'all making up. Who knew this election would do all this? That's nice. Because she definitely was the one that was saying that. I know y'all remember. Child.
Just to let you niggas know, we don't need y'all. We want y'all, but we don't need you.
20 years later.
Our black men, we want all y'all back. Because we love you, we see you, kings, and most importantly, we need you. And most importantly, we need you.
And most importantly, we need you.
They know better than to feed me anything because I do not care.